Well, hello there. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever the time is where you are. Just want to say thank you. Thank you so much for joining us again. Waypoints Aviation. We're in our Airbus A320, and I've literally just fired the thing on. So, yeah, just gonna get some everything set up. Gonna get the ground crew supply going. Gonna get the ground controller on. Do a quick CVR test so that we know it works. Yep, it works. IRSs are in nav. Get the nav logo light going. Keep those off for now, but I can arm the emergency lights, and I'm gonna get the fuel pumps on and do a quick engine fire test. So block your ears. Alrighty, so that's the APU fire test done. I can go ahead now, start the APU master, and then on for 3 seconds. And yeah, that's gonna start the APU. So if you've been following our adventures, you'll know that we are currently in Kuwait. We got here and we flew through the night, and now it's bright and early, and now it's time for us to take this onto the next leg in our adventure, traveling to taking an Airbus A320 to every capital city in the world. So the next capital city comes to us from Iraq. Very specifically, we're going to Baghdad. So as you guys may know, Iraq has pretty much been center of attention here in the Middle East, you know, for all the wrong reasons, I guess. But you know what, I don't care about all that political mumbo jumbo. I'm more concerned in the history and the culture of any country I travel to. So I'm pretty sure my buddy Kivinas is going to come up with some really good facts about Iraq, which I believe in history used to be called Babylon. So that is a country with a lot of history. And yeah, so we're going to be flying over there. I believe we're going to be doing an RNAV approach into Baghdad. So come with me now, and we're going to head over to flight operations, and we're just going to plan this flight and then come back here and program and get out of here. So let's go on over to the computer, and let's plan the flight. All right, I'll see you guys there. Alrighty then, let's do some planning. So the ICAO codes today are Oscar Kilo Kilo Kilo, and for Kuwait International, and you've got Oscar Romeo Bravo India for Baghdad International Airport. So last night I just did a very quick flight plan, and what I'm going to do now is we're going to edit this because I want to update the weather. All right, so you guys by now know how to do this. If you don't, I'll link a thing in the description below where you can see how I use this program, or this website rather, to do my flight planning. So I'm gonna use current time and gonna reset everything here. And yep, so basically we've got our airline, flight number, origin, destination, and as an alternate they've given us Erbil airfield, or rather Erbil Air Force Base in northern Iraq, and I have flown there so many times. So yeah, I'm gonna accept that as the alternate. That works very well for us. I mean, given the distances, I could even quickly do a turnaround and come back around, so not a big deal. Not a big deal at all. So cost index today is going to be 25 as usual, and we want to come down here. 20 minutes for the outbound, 10 minutes for the inbound should be okay. Reserves of 30 minutes. One alternate's okay. No ETOPS, no step climbs. Runway analysis, we'll take it, it's alright. And over here on the very top, you can check the weather just by clicking on that. So it gives you the current meter as of right now, as of the time we're doing this. So as you can see, we've got Oscar Kilo Kilo Kilo. This is the time, 7 o'clock Zulu on the 6th of June. Winds are 350, 8 knots, 7,000 meters of visibility, no significant change. Temperature 41 with a dew point of 9, and QNH is 1007 today. No significant change. All right. So that means we are going to be expecting runway, so that means we can use runway 33 right, okay, which is right over there. Now for Baghdad, on arrival, if you click on here, you can actually see the METAR and you can see the TAF. All right, now the TAF is going to be good until 0706 Zulu. Winds are also expected to be 3508 knots, 7,000 visibility, 7,000 meters of visibility, and scattered clouds at 4,000 feet. In general, QNH of a QNH of 1008. So I think it's safe to go ahead and pre-plan for the runways. Approach procedures as of right now. All landing area lighting facilities for runway. Okay. Alrighty. Fair enough. Okay. We'll take the other runway. That's fine. So I'm gonna close this up. So given that I know what to expect, I'm gonna take flight level 210, and I guess I just don't need anything else. We're carrying a full load today, and 59 tons, 343. All right, so that's there. We're expecting the Ralka for Foxtrot SID to Ralka, jumping onto the Gulf 795 airway to Tasmi, Lima 602 airway to Alpet, then the Lima 718 to Denby. So Denby, if my air is right over here. So once we get off Denby, then we'll probably do a small arc and then come over to the next thing over there. So that's kind of what we're looking at today. Let's go ahead and let's bring up our charts. Oscar Kilo Kilo Kilo, and I'm going to look at the SID today, which is the Rakla for Foxtrot. So as you can see, it's good for it's a little island out there, I guess. So Rakla for Foxtrot, I'm referring to plate number 10-3 Bravo, effective the 23rd of February, RNAV SID for Kuwait. All right, so we're going to be using runway 33 right today, so that would have us take off 332 degrees, 8.5 miles to Sobab, 2,500 feet or higher. Actually, no, we're going to Orker, 2,500 or higher. Right-hand turn, pretty much a 90-degree turn to Tulgo. And then from Tulgo, another right turn, 12.6 miles to Ralka, and then onwards onto our journey. All right. In case of immediate return, we can come back to the same runway for an ILS Zulu for runway 33. So, yeah, that pretty much works for us right over there. So Ralka is right up here as well, so we'll just come around, join the ILS and land in case we need to do an immediate return. So that's pretty much the flight plan for today. We've got a nice long runway, 11,483 feet. So let's go ahead and do our performance calculations. We'll generate this flight plan, and then we're just going to go ahead and get the speeds going, and then we're good to go. Alright, there's the flight plan. Estimated takeoff weight is 65625. So we're going to come over here to our trusty calculator, 214 65625. There we go. CG today is expected to be 27.9, and configuration 1, no anti-ice, air conditioning on, Oscar Kilo Kilo Kilo. And let's get the METAR and airport data. It's loading. Still loading. Still loading. I wonder if it goes by the old one. Alright. Okay, so if that doesn't want to give us the information, we'll just do it manually. Alright, let's get the runway length. That's 3,500 meters. So I'll come to meters and I'll put 3,500. Runway heading is going to be 332. dry, and the airport elevation is 205. Alright, QNH currently today, as per this, was going to be, was it 10 standby? I'm just going to get the QNH very quickly. It's one of the problems when you have the memory of a fish, you forget things instantaneously. I do apologize. Alright, Kuwait, the QNH is 1007. 1007. The temperature today, I believe it was 41. Yes, it is 41 degrees, and the winds are 350 at 8 knots. Okay, got all the information I need. There's the calculation. So we've got alright, flaps 1 trim 0.1 up, 68 degrees of flex, 47, 47, 52 with a thrust reduction acceleration of 1005. Alright, that works for me, and I'm gonna accept all these figures, and now we're gonna head back into the airplane, into the cockpit, and we're going to program all of this in and get going. So I'll see you guys back at the cockpit. Alrighty then, back in the cockpit. Let's get ready to program this in. So first thing I went and did was I got the APU bleed going, and I'll keep external power until it's time to push back. The fuel in on board is complete, so I can go ahead actually and get the seatbelt signs, no smoking going. And now it's time to program in our MCDU. Alright, so yeah, we're gonna do that in just a second. Gonna go to plan and 40 miles out so that I can see what I'm doing, make sure constraints are on as well. Alright, let's go ahead and program in the flight plan in the MCDU. Okay, as usual, we're gonna start with data, aircraft status, and we're checking the aircraft, the engines, and the database, which is still valid. So just gonna push clear over here. Make sure your scratch pad is always nice and clean. Alright, now we come back to init, and we're going to put Oscar Kilo Kilo Kilo, and our destination is Oscar Romeo Bravo India, ORBI. We're gonna put it up there. The alternate today is going to be Oscar Romeo Echo Romeo. Flight number will be 32025, and our flight level today is 210. Ground temperature currently 38 degrees. Alright, so now coming up to the flight plan page, Oscar Kilo Kilo Kilo, departures, we're taking 33 right, and we're going to be using the Ruckler for Foxtrot, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, it is Ruckler for Foxtrot. And insert, and from Ralka we're gonna join an airway, which is going to be the Golf 795, and that's gonna take me over to TASMI. So TASMI, put that in there. From TASMI we're getting onto the Lima 602 airway, and we're gonna jump on to Alpet, ALPET. Okay, from Alpet we're gonna get onto the Lima 718 to Debni, DEBNI. Whoever came up with these names, seriously. Alright, and then from Debni it's direct to the airport. Okay, so you'll find the flight plan's going to be on your screen anyway throughout this whole thing. Alright, so then coming up from here, what I want to do is I want to do an RNAV into Baghdad. So I'm going to select destination, arrival, and I believe there's an RNAV onto 33 left. So we'll take the RNAV. Alright, the RNAV, no stars, wire. And let me see, do we have any wires? No, there are no wires. Okay, no wire. Straight away and probably vector us around and then turn around and come back. We'll see how that goes. We'll program it in as we get along, but I'm just going to insert that in for now. 342 nautical miles is where we have to go. Secondary flight plan, copy active, take any one, put Oscar Kilo 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 in the new destination and pick the runway we want to come back to. Yeah, that'll do. There we go. Okay, so now we're coming up to the RNAV page. We do have a VOR here, which is Kilo Uniform Alpha. Gonna put that in there. Kilo Uniform Alpha, we're gonna put that in there. Choose the first one. ILS frequency is correct and the course is correct as well as per the database. So now we come to the init Bravo page. We are current zero fuel weight is 59.3 with 27.7 as our, is it 27? Standby. That's correct. 27.7 is our CG. Block fuel is 6.5. 6.5, please. Thank you. All right. And now we're gonna just very quickly have a look at our calculations here. All right. Landing weight 63 tons. Takeoff weight 65.6. All right. Looking good. 1.5 tons of extra fuel, giving us 44 minutes of endurance. Sweet. All righty. Now we come up to this. It was flaps 1 with an up of 0.1 trim. 68 was the temperature for the flex, and I have these I have the speeds right over here. It's gonna be 147 for V1, 147 for VR, and 152 for our V2. Thrust reduction acceleration 1005 on both sides. I'll leave the engine out acceleration to the standard 1500 above ground level. Transition altitude is okay as well. All right, and that does it. That is the flight plan all programmed in. From now, it's time to set up the glare shield, do the checklists, and get going. All right, so after programming our flight plan, gonna go to ARC, come down to 10 miles, manage. The initial is gonna be 3000. Managed, can do the same for the first officer side. QNH 1007 on both sides, reading 190 right now. That's okay. Okay, so all checks are completed, more or less. Flight plan on the first officer side, performance on my side. Idle, cutoff, normal. Spoilers are disarmed. Parking brakes on. Okay, all good. TCAS is on standby, all off. Weather radar is also off, and yep, we're pretty much good to go. So I'm gonna go ahead, get the beacon on, and then we'll talk to ground crew. In the meantime, let's do a cockpit preparation checklist. So gear pins and covers are removed. Fuel quantity is set, 6.5 tons. Seatbelt signs, they are very much indeed on. We've got the ADIRSs in nav right up there, and we've got the barrel reference 1007 and on the standby as well. That completes the cockpit preparation checklist, and we can now go ahead and do the before start checklist. Parking brakes are set, takeoff speeds are in the box and on our screens as well, and crush checked. Windows and doors are closed, slides are armed, everything's ready, and lastly, beacon is on. That's the before start checklist complete. I'm gonna go ahead, push back, start up the engines, and then I'll get it back to you when we're ready for taxi. See you guys soon. Okay, we're pushed back and we're ready to do our after start items. So as part of pilot flying duty, this goes to normal, and then come right up here, take off the APU bleed, check if you need anti-ice, and then APU master off. Push the button properly, APU master off. Okay, and then the pilot monitoring is going to go ahead and arm the spoilers, reset the rudder trim, set the flap, today's flap setting, move the iPhone out of the way, and basically set up the trim, which is gonna be, if you just want to shake the side stick a bit, and then it's up 0.1 on our trim. Check status, all systems are normal. Nice. All right, all good. So that's the after start flows. All right, and now we can do the after start checklist, which is anti-ice not required. ECAM status is checked and it's normal. Pitch trim is set to 27% or 0.1 up, and the rudder trim is 0. So that's the after start checklist complete. And I'm just gonna go ahead now and do a quick flight control check. So it's gonna be full left, and as you can see, we got full left over there. I'm gonna go full right, and a neutral on the side stick, full up, full down, neutral. Gonna push the rudder disconnect on the tiller. So the rudder disconnect is this button right over here. You hold down on it and then you move the rudder pedals. All right, so there's full left and there's full right, back to neutral. Okay, flight controls are checked. And yeah, pretty much good to go. Can just go ahead, get that going over there, get that guy going over there. Can turn on the predictive wind shear. TCAS can also come on now, and I'll keep the TARA until we're ready for on the runway. Armed. Okay, all systems are good to go. It's now time to do the taxi checklist. So, taxi checklist. Flight controls, we just checked them. Flap setting is config 1 plus F. Radar and predictive wind shear is on and auto. And engine mode selector is normal, and the ACAM memo is takeoff, no blue items. That's the taxi checklist complete. All that's left to do now is taxi down to the runway and pretty much get the aircraft going. So I'm not sure if you can see it here. I hope you can. We're currently over here. We're gonna taxi down to Whiskey 12. From Whiskey 12 we're gonna go over to Echo 1, and then all the way down Echo 1 until we get to Loop 1 or Loop 2. I think we can take Loop 2 and then onto the runway, and then we'll do the lineup checklist, and then we're off. All right, so I'll get back to you guys when we get closer to Loop 2. In the meantime, sit back, relax. All right, let's go.
A few moments later.
Okay, and as we're getting along, coming up on Loop 2 very soon, so now would be a good time to turn on the TCAS as well to TARA. Tell the cabin crew to please be seated for takeoff. I was about to say landing. All right, strobe lights are auto. Okay, we're good to go. So that would be Loop 2 coming up ahead. We shall see. And then it would be time to basically line up and get going. So yeah, just gonna, all right, so we just have a little bit more to go before we reach Loop 2. So how's everybody doing? Hope you guys are doing okay, and you had a wonderful week so far. It's currently summertime here, so yeah, it's gonna be a little it's getting quite warm over here. So let me know what it's like in the country where you are at, because over here in the UAE it's wonderful, but okay, we got Loop 2 coming up here, and it's time to make a turn, and I'll just hold short and finish my checklist. Okay, and gonna hold short right over here. Okay, parking brake comes back on. We're gonna do a lineup checklist. Okay, lineup checklist will be takeoff runway confirmed. It's 33 right, and TCAS will now go to TA and RA, which it is, and the packs they stay on for this takeoff. So that is the lineup checklist completed. Cabin crew's been informed. Takeoff, strobes are auto, and we are pretty much good to go. So let's go ahead and let's release the parking brakes, and then we're gonna get going. Okay, time to go. All right, enough faffing around, and let's get some thrust going. Clear on the left, clear on the right. Time to go to Iraq. So yeah, as I was saying, the UAE now and most parts of the Middle East, it's really hot. So like temperatures here are in the afternoons easily over 40 degrees Celsius. So yeah. So let me know what the weather's like where you are at, and does it rain? Is it snowing? I probably doubt that, but you never know. But yeah, let me know the weather where you guys are at. Okay, runway 33 is identified, 33 on the compass, and we are pretty much good to go. And on the side stick, little forward pressure, and we're gonna go ahead and set 50% first. Okay, stabilized, and we're gonna go ahead and start the timer. Man flex 68 SRS, runway auto thrust blue. Takeoff thrust is set. Knots, we can level out now. V1 and rotate. Nav, positive rate of climb, gear up. Into the haze. Not much to see with this heat, but as you get higher, it'll get clearer, I promise. Just continue to hand fly the aircraft. We've got a 90-degree turn coming up. Okay, we got lever climb, so there we go. Thrust climb, auto thrust white. Okay, just continuing to use the side stick to keep the aircraft as accurately as we can on that flight director. And we're airborne. Okay, crossing 1,900 now for 3,000. Let's assume they've cleared us to go all the way up to 210. So I'm gonna go ahead, and I've chosen 210 blue. And yep, there's some of Kuwait, the city of Kuwait. There's the downtown with the skyscrapers. You can barely see them because of the heat, the haze that comes on over the city. We have the same in Dubai during the summertime. You can barely see them, but they're there, I promise you. In fact, there's some towers right there. In fact, when I make this turn, okay, we're S speed, so speed check, flaps up, disarm spoilers, and these two go here. Alright, and very soon we're gonna make a turn. You'll probably get a view of that skyline very soon. And for those of you who are paying attention to the side stick, as you notice, I'm not notice the way I'm holding the stick. Alright, what I do is, a lot of people tend to grip the side stick very tightly, and that would eventually cause your arm to get stiff and sore. So you never want to do that. You want to have a nice relaxed grip on the side stick. And what I do is I rest my palm and I just literally hold it like this, and then I simply, with my palm, I apply pressure in the direction I want it to go. It gives me greater accuracy as well as gives me more control. Here we go, few buildings as promised near the waterfront area of Kuwait City. There's the island that's coming up over Tulbo. And yeah, everything's looking good. So that's how I use the side stick. That's how I work the side stick. And yeah, remember never to have a tight grip. All right. Some people hold like this, some people hold like this, some people hold like this. If it works for you, great, but I like to rest my palm. And of course in the real aircraft I have a palm rest, I have an armrest underneath my elbow as well, so I just set it up and I just relax and fly. Flying is not supposed to be stressful. Flying is supposed to be fun. Flying is supposed to be enjoyable, and so yeah, you know, I just make sure I have fun and everything's set up for me. So we're coming up on Tuldo very soon. Tulgo, sorry, and then it's going to be Rakla, which is where we have that island, and then make left-hand turn. So if I can bring that up there. Yep, there's the island right over there, and we should be able to see it. So is that it over there? Is that the island of Rakla? Maybe. Who knows? New islands pop up every day. All right, let's make our turn. We're crossing 10. We've just crossed 10,000 feet, so I'm gonna get the autopilot on now, and I'm gonna go ahead and do the 10,000 checks, which is those two off. Check the weather. Seatbelt signs okay. Seatbelt signs are off, and we're gonna come down to secondary flight plan and copy active. RNAV, auto tune. Secondary copied active. We're good to go. All right. Yeah, that was the island. So now we're making that turn and we're off, basically heading northbound towards Iraq. And yeah, let's put a fix in there. So ORBI. So I'm gonna take any waypoint. I'm gonna go to fix info, and I'm gonna put ORBI, and I'm gonna put a 100 nautical mile radius around it. Okay, so now if I zoom out a little bit, eventually there you go, there's that 100-mile radius circle around Baghdad International. That'll help you stay focused. All right, and yeah, right over this what looks like a reclaimed island being made over in the Arabian Sea in Kuwait, which is pretty cool. All right, we've got the QNH flashing. We just crossed 13,000, so pull and standard set, crossing 14,000 now, and we're good to go. Got some clouds coming in, and the TAF for Baghdad said there was a 30% chance of showers in Iraq. So I'm hoping and praying that's true, because I'd love to see some rain. If you're a sand monkey like me who grew up in a desert country, trust me, even the slightest sound of rain is super exciting for us. In Dubai, when it rains, it actually shows up in the newspapers. That's how much we love rain. So because we get so little of it in a desert country. But yeah, if it's raining in Iraq, it would just make my day. It'll be awesome. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead, climb up to cruise, and once I'm in the cruise, we're gonna check the weather, because we just have about 300 miles to go, and we're currently doing 400 miles an hour, so we're gonna be getting there pretty soon. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna check the weather and very quickly start briefing for our approach and landing in Iraq. So yeah, we're just about to reach flight level 210. Progress says optimum 350, but I'm not gonna go anywhere near that, because there's no point. I'll just stay at 210. It's fine. All right, looking good. All right, get back to you guys when it's time to do the brief. Time to start preparing for our descent and approach into Iraq, into Baghdad. So ORBI, that's the code, and we're gonna go into that. Now the first thing I want to do is I'll go to the information here and I can check the weather. Okay, and looking at the current META right now, its winds are 3506 knots and it's cab-okay conditions, and temperature is 38 with a dew point of 10. QNH is 1008, no significant change. All right, so that's pretty much what we're expecting. Humidity is at 18%. The TAF is giving us clouds, scattered clouds at 4,000 feet, which is what we're expecting there. So it's looking good. It's looking nice actually over there in Iraq right now. So what we're going to do now is, since the winds are 350, the runways that they have are runways 33 right and 33 left, 15 left and 15 right. So we're obviously going to go with the runway 33 direction. All right, coming up on the charts, they have no stars for this airport. However, when you go to the approaches, you can see that for 15 left they have an ILS and they have a VOR. For 15 right they just have a RNAV, RNP. For runway 33 right they have an ILS and a VOR as well, and they have an RNP for 33 left. So let's go ahead and do an RNAV into 33 left. Okay, so I'm gonna pick that, and hopefully within this millennia the chart shows up. But yeah, it should come up on my screen right now. There it is. Okay, so RNAV. So I'm referring to plate 12-2, effective 26th of January. Category Charlie and Delta aircrafts are allowed for this one. RNP RNAV 33 left, Baghdad, Iraq. All right. MSA in that area is 5,300 feet with a final approach course of 326 degrees. Final approach fix is at Debni, 1,800 feet. And yep, Debni, very nice. Okay. And the minimum safe altitude is, sorry, the decision height is 620. All right, so looking at the chart, we can see that it starts at Debni. So it says Debni over here, and looking at my flight plan, Debni is my final. Debni is actually the final thing on my waypoints. So that works very, very well for us. We can pretty much go straight to Debni, start an early descent. So now we want to do, so we have to be, the approach starts at Datuk, 2,700, and Debni is the final approach fix, 1,800 feet. Keep that in mind, okay? And yep, straight away, 3.08 degrees descent down to minimums of 620 feet above sea level. And in case of missed approach, climb on 326 degrees direct to Norsu to 5,000 feet and expect radar vectors back again. So that's pretty simple. And looking at the taxiway, we've got the 10-9 plate over here. Excuse me, a little bit of a sore throat today. We've got 33 left, and it's a 10,800 foot runway. We can easily take Papa 5 if we want to, or go straight down and then come out at Papa 6, and then we can take Yankee over here to the hotel area. And once we get to the hotel area, we could probably take Bravo 21 Terminal B. Yep, that's the plan. Bravo 21 Terminal B, and that's going to be our approach and landing for today. Okay, so now coming back to this, remember the 3-to-1 rule that I gave you, right? Debni is 1,800 feet. I'm going to bring up a calculator so I don't mess up this time. So we're currently flying at 21,000 feet. We want to drop down to 1,800, so 1.8. All right, which means we have to lose 19,200 feet. Now 19,200 times 3 is going to be 57.6 miles. All right, so I'm going to round it out to 58 miles. So I'm going to put a fix of 58 miles away from Debni. Okay, and then I'm going to start the descent, and that will allow me to get to Debni by 1,800. So that's my 3-2-1 rule for my calculation of my descent. And now it's time to head back into the cockpit and program all of this into the box. And yeah, and then basically just gonna shoot the approach and land the plane. All right, come back with me to the cockpit. Thank you. All right, we're in the cockpit and everything's looking good. Some lovely low-level clouds over here, and we're just coming up. We're about to leave the Kuwaiti airspace and enter Iraqi airspace, so it's looking beautiful over there. Still vast expanses of desert over there, but as we get further north in this adventure, you're gonna find more greenery. The topography is going to be changing to become more green, which is nice. All right, so now I need to program it into here. All right, so what I need to do is flight plan, and I want to find, all right, so there's Debny 1800. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose the arrival, and I've already taken RNAV 33 left. Okay, and Debny is not there, but I can choose actually I don't have to choose anything because it's already there. Okay, I can take via Cockpit because that's the waypoint just before Debny. So I can take top key via top key, and I'm going to insert that. Okay, now from here I want to go top key, and I'm going to basically, because if I come to the plan page, put the constraints back on again, you can see it's a little messy. All right, so what I want to do is actually I'm going to clean this up. All right, I do not want top key, I don't want data, and I don't want the 33 left in there. I just want that straight away from where I am. So if I come down over here, I'm going to remove Cockpit, I'm going to remove data, I'm going to remove that, and I'm just going to keep Debny, and I'm going to go here and I'm going to put Debny in there, and that pretty much should do it. Now as I insert, we got a nice clean straight thing right over there. Now I'm going to come back into any waypoint, fix info, take a free page, put DEB and I, Debny, and what I want to do is I want to put a 58-mile radius around it. Now the inbound course is 326, so the reciprocal of that is going to be 146. All right, so 146 is going to be our radial in, and that should do it. Nice straight radial from the runway. Okay, so now I've got my 58-mile ring around the airport, and I know exactly when I need to start descending. All right, there's my 100-mile ring around Baghdad, and that's my 58-mile ring. So once I get there, and you can see my top of descent is calculated more or less the same, so me and the computer are on the same page, which is good, which is also rare. So yeah, looking good. Pretty much everything's set up here. All I need to do now is just get the airport information again. And if I look at the weather, so now I need to do the hat, right? So we did the flight plan page. I'm going to go to the RNAV page. There is no VOR over Baghdad, so I'm going to keep those as auto-tuned, nothing on the ILS because this is an RNAV. Go to the progress page, ORBI 33 left. There we go. GPS primary is, and accuracy is high. We require 2.0, we've got 0.03, so we're looking very good on that. Performance, go to the next phase again. QNH today is 1008 hectopascals. Temperature today is 38 degrees. The winds are 3506 knots, and our barrel reference, our minimums for today are 620 feet. And that does that. All right, performance is done. Fuel prediction looking good. And now secondary flight plan, copy active. And that is the entire approach briefing completed. Now it's just waiting to get to top of descent and start. I'll get back to you when we're ready for that. One more thing I forgot to mention as part of my briefing, it's going to be since it's runway 33 left and we've got a 10,830 foot runway, we are going to go ahead and choose auto brakes low for this approach, because we plan to exit by Papa 5. Yeah, we're going to exit over here, Papa 5, potentially take Tango and then on to Foxtrot, then to Hotel. If we don't, we're going to go straight down Mike 6 Papa 6 Yankee and then to Hotel, and we're going to be parking at gate number Bravo 21 at Terminal B. Alright, so that's the plan for today. And yeah, so I'll get back to you guys when I'm just about to start my descent. Alright, see you guys then. Okay, we're coming up on our 58 miles away from Debney. I've dialed in the 1800 here. As soon as I touch that line, we're gonna go and push. And we've got thrust idle descent 1800 blue, gonna set 1008 on the QNHs over here because we're going to descend down to below transition. And there we go, we've started our descent and approach, and the transition altitude is 14,000 over here anyway, so we're doing okay. We want to just make sure we catch up with our profile, which is coming right into view over here. Gonna make sure ILS stays off because we are doing an RNAV approach, and yep, we should be good to go. Okay, so as of right now, looking on the progress page, we are just 100 and something feet above our vertical deviation, which is okay. We'll catch up pretty soon. And Debney is literally just 53 miles away. Zoom out a little bit, we seem to be on profile, so we're looking okay. We may need to use the speed brakes to help us slow down a bit. So yep, looking at our chart over here, I hope you guys can see it. Let me see over here, looking at Debney. So Debney 1800, then a 3-degree descent down. Okay, so yeah, I hope you guys can see it. Debney 1800 and then down to minimums of 620. All right, so now that we've initiated the descent, it's time for us to do the approach checklist. Barrel reference 1008, set both sides and on the standby. We've got seatbelt signs can come on now. No more coffee for you. Minimums 620 on the primary flat display. Auto brakes low, pre-selected, and engine mode selector normal. So that's it. We've done the approach checklist. Now all that's left to do is monitor this this thing and make sure that the aircraft does what we want it to do and help it in any way it needs. So yeah, that's pretty much happening right now. So from here, I believe we're going to Iran. So yep, from Baghdad, according to the flight plan, which ChatGPT spat out for us, it's from here to Iran. Tehran very specifically. So that's going to be amazing, and yeah, looking forward to that as well. And as we go along, eventually this journey of all the capital cities, which we're starting in the Middle East, right? Thus we're seeing all the capital cities in the Middle East as of right now. This journey ends in Morocco. Now from Morocco, I'm gonna have a choice whether I want to go up north into Europe and start flying to capital cities in Europe, or whether I want to go down south into Africa and start doing you know, start flying to capital cities in Africa. Both are massive continents, so you know what, you guys tell me in the comments below, where are we going once we reach Morocco? Are we going north? Are we going south? You decide, and that's gonna be it. In fact, you know what, in the community section of YouTube, I'm gonna put a poll and you guys get to decide. All right, that poll will come up as we get closer to Morocco, or once I'm on my way to Morocco, I'm gonna put the poll and then you guys are gonna decide. So yeah, and I do hope you guys have been enjoying this series so far. Let me know any comments that you have, put it down in the comments below, and anything you want to specifically learn about the aircraft while I'm on the flight, I'm happy to explain it and show it to you as well. So let me know. And if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. It's free and you can always change your mind later. So hit the like button for this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe if you don't mind, and it will really help us you know, get to where we want to be as a channel and stuff like that. So we're just coming up on 10,000, and the aircraft has kind of slightly leveled off to bleed off the excess speed for 250. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the speed brake to kind of help it along. So I'm deploying about half speed brake. That's going to get the speed trend going, and the aircraft should be able to continue on down with that speed. So we'll see. Anyway, we're just going to keep on we're just going to keep on monitoring our vertical deviation to make sure that we don't bust right through it. So speed is looking good now, and the aircraft should start descending. In fact, I'm going to increase the speed brake a little bit more. And now that we've reached the speed we want to, I'm going to go ahead and store the speed brake again. And here we go. Continuing down in the descent, 10,000 checks. Going to be landing lights on, constraints, and yep, secondary flight plan. Copy active, all good. All right, so that's done with the 10,000 checks. Seatbelt signs are on, everyone's seated, I hope, in the back and comfortable. And we're starting to see bits of Iraq, and well, specifically we're starting to see bits of Baghdad right now. It's a big city, and yeah, so much history over here. So much has happened in this region of the world, you know, in the last 2 decades. They've had war, they've had change of government, they've had a lot of things going on. And, you know, I never care about the political side of it. You know, I don't even want to get into that. But what impresses me the most about any place I go to is the culture, and more importantly, the people. Now you can imagine, you know, over 2 decades or more, wars have been fought in this region. And while governments are exchanging weapons and, you know, fire with each other, the people stuck in the middle have had to live their lives. Some of them have had the chance to leave the country and rebuild their lives outside. But there's a good majority of people who didn't have a choice. They had to stay. And one thing I can say, hats off to those people, respect to those mothers and fathers who stayed and till today are still trying to make a living and, you know, do what's best for their family and for their kids. And, you know, war is an ugly thing, and it's the people who suffer. It's not the governments, it's not the leaders, it's not anything to do with government that suffers. It's the people who suffer, and these people who suffer over something that's not their fault, and to see their resilience, and, you know, I respect that. So if you're watching from Iraq, or you are originally from Iraq, hats off to you guys, you know, for surviving all of this thing that's happened. You've got a beautiful country, a country that's so full of history, and it's amazing. It's amazing. And I've met a lot of Iraqi people here in Dubai, and they're wonderful, friendly people, you know. So never ever believe what you see in the news. The news is always overhyped, always wrong. All right, so always get to know the people firsthand before casting judgment, really, because you'd be amazed at these people. So now we're coming up on 19 track miles. Okay, so due to the nature of this, I want to make sure I slow down fast enough. So I'm going to go to performance, activate the approach phase, and I'm going to hit the speed brakes, get the aircraft to slow down as quickly as we can. All right, and in the meantime, I've got my vertical and lateral and vertical deviation right now as well for the approach showing up, so I can go ahead and arm the approach. So I'm going to push the approach here. I've got final approach speed. All right, and now the aircraft is more or less in its mode that it needs to be. And as soon as I have flaps, I'm going to go ahead and deploy the flaps and start slowing the aircraft down. Generally, I'd wait for 15 miles to do this, but I want to do this a little bit earlier just because of the nature of this approach. All right, so now it's time to put the iPad away, store my tray table, and yeah, let me just check my EFB for a second. All right, looking good on the profile. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and get this plane on the ground. And look, as I promised you, as we get further north, it does get more greener. You couldn't see much of it because of the haze, the heat haze over the city, but look, it is definitely more green than where we've been. That also rhymed. Okay, let me see. 5.7 miles from Debney. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit more. Okay, but speed's good. Storing the speed brake and speed check. Flaps 1. Flaps coming out. I can actually see the runways coming into view. Yep, there's the airport right over there. Alright, if the aircraft is not slowing down the way I want it to, I will make it. Alright, so we're gonna go with gear down, non-standard gear down now. Lights on, gears in retraction, the speed brake. That's gonna cause the aircraft to bleed off speed much more faster, create the drag we need. Okay, we have to be at Debney by 1800. We are very much on our profile, looking good. Alright, speed is looking good for flaps 2. Going to go ahead and speed check flaps 2. Checked. Speed check flaps 3. Making the turn for the approach. And speed check flaps full. Gonna go ahead do the go around altitude, which is 5,000, and want to very quickly check that. Yes, go around is 5,000. Okay, excellent. All right, we're on the approach and landing checklist. ECAM memo, landing no blue, checklist complete. Cabin crew be seated for landing. Thank you. Runways in sight. Just waiting for minimums, and then we're gonna take over and hand fly the aircraft down. For now, just gonna let the autopilot do all the hard work. Judge me if you want, but I'm just making use of all the tools I have.
1,000.
Yep, 1,000 it is. Checked. There's a runway in sight, and the terminal and the city.
Hundred above.
Checked.
500.
Minimums, autopilot is going off, and time to land. So now it's basically a visual approach. So FD's off, bird on.
200. 100.
Check.
50. 40. 30. 20. Retard.
Retarding the engines. Okay. Engage reverses, spoilers, reverses green, and decel. Okay, we're coming up on 60 knots. I can actually use the rudders and do a high-speed exit here. 60 knots. Idle reverse. Full idle. Tap on the brakes. Disconnect the auto thrust, the auto brakes. And we can hold over here. And that's it. We've landed. We actually managed to get our exit. So that worked out pretty well for us. So now we're just gonna go and taxi over right there. And then once I'm stabilized over here, I'm gonna clean up the aircraft. Lovely. Alrighty, so let's spoilers off and flaps to 0. TCAS to standby, that goes off, and standby weather radar off, landing lights off, nose to taxi, strobes still in auto. I'm gonna start the APU. There we go. And that should do that. So we do an after landing checklist. So after landing checklist, radar predictive wind shear is off. Yep, after landing checklist complete. Welcome to Iraq, my friends. I'm just gonna get my tray table out so I can put my iPad back there and get a little better layout of the land, so to speak. So as of right now, I am on taxiway Papa. I'm gonna take a right onto Yankee, and yeah, and then take it over to the gate. That's the plan, at least, for sure. APU's coming online. Alright, this would be Yankee. Making the turn, and we wanted to go with Bravo 21. Alright guys, welcome to Iraq, welcome to Baghdad. And yeah, I'm gonna park over here and enjoy some nice Iraqi food, and then and then basically prepare for the next flight, which happens in a couple of days time. So guys, thank you so much again for coming along with us for this journey. It's been so much fun reading the comments and interacting with all of you guys in the comments section. And yeah, please keep those comments coming. Let me know if there's anything specific we can do for you in the simulator, and we're just so happy to do it for you. All right, and again, please if you can, like this like the video, and subscribe if you haven't subscribed. It would really mean a lot to us, and share it with your friends. Alright, I need to go over there, Bravo 21. That's my gate. Now how on earth am I gonna get there? Oh, here it is, right here. Okay, slowing down, lights are coming off. It's quite bright. I didn't see the yellow line. We've got Air France A320 here, and some weird multicolored airline as well. No worries. Nice. Alright, and we've got wheel stop, parking brake on. Okay, trucks are coming on. Okay, all good. APU is available, APU bleed on. And now it's time to shut down the engines. 1, 2, engines shutting down. flicking over, and ground crew should come in as well. Yep, they have. Ground crew have come. They've got external power as well. Beacon off, seatbelt signs off, and the fuel pumps go off, crew supply off. Okay, that does it. Parking checklist. Parking brakes and shocks, they're on. Engines are off. Wing lights are off, and the fuel pumps are off. Parking checklist complete, and we're in Iraq, in Baghdad. Guys, thank you so much for coming with us. Hope you enjoyed it. Like if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and I'll look forward to hearing from you guys in the comments below. Thank you so much. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful day. God bless every single one of you, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.